This is Helen, 14 years old. His dark circles feel as if he hadn't slept enough. He doesn't care about his messy black hair, since he doesn't like to put too much effort into untying up his hair himself. It's unnecessary. His seat was in the back of the classroom, next to a window. He always sits there, drawing quietly, as if it was like everything to him. He doesn't like to associate with people, making him the lonely one. There was a person being pushed in the hallway after school. That's Tom, who's always a victim of bullying. Not because he did anything before, it's just he dislikes people around him. These things did happen often, and Helen was used to it. Although he does feel bad for Tom, he doesn't want himself to interfere, as it's quite bothersome. During recess, Judy says that she's missing her watch, to which she searches for it. Helen doesn't help her. It's none of his business. Suddenly someone sees something flashing in Helen's bag. "What's this?" Van says, as he puts his hand into the bag and takes out a watch that was trimmed with fake diamonds. Helen is so surprised to see it, he doesn't know how it got there. "Ah, that's my watch!" Judy receives the watch from Van after the situation. Both of them stare at Helen with a weird glare. "It's not me," says Helen, who is still drawing on his notebook without raising a head a bit. "Yeah, right." Judy leaves the classroom with Tom as she concludes. The following day, as usual, Helen sits at the table drawing. He notices that the atmosphere doesn't seem right around him. People start whispering about him, and even a few starts calling him a thief. He then decides not to explain for himself, as he knows that it's useless to do so. As time passes, Helen becomes the new target of victim for people to bully. Everything he does now is being agitated and exaggerated as well. He doesn't like that, but he doesn't resist. He keeps feeling the feelings in his heart, keeping silent with his unfinished drawings on it. "Always doing these meaningless things," says Van, as he tears down a few pages of the drawing, tearing them into pieces, wanting to see Helen's reaction. At this rate, the feeling that he has been holding bursts out. He punches Van in the face, and then starts to fight. Helen isn't that powerful, however, he was also beaten into time. Other students went to see the fight, without stopping it at some point, even stomped him in the face and stomach. Right after the bell rings, everyone stops what they're doing and went back to their seats before the teacher came. Helen returns to his seat as if nothing happened. The teacher enters the room later on. "Oh my Otis, what happened?" Helen has to see so many visible bruises on him, and that the teacher notices it after she enters the room. Everyone turns to look at him, waiting for him to give a response, while glaring at him with a murderous look. "I fell from the stairs, miss," Helen replies as he glares at the disappeared. After returning home from school, his parents also asked him about what happened, and he responds with some the same answer. The blue jacket he is covers all the bruises other than those on his face. His parents believe it without doubts. Usually when Helen's parents ask this about how he's doing at school, he always says he's fine. Even when he did lie about making a lot of friends, living happily every day, Helen refuses to tell his parents the truth, since he doesn't want to make his parents worry about her. A few months later, he has gotten used to the negative comments about him, and getting hit or humiliated has been the normal event for him. He is completely immune to those things right now. Who framed him in the first place? Why did the culprit did to this? This doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters anyhow. "Hi, you there?" Helen receives a message from an unknown user on Facebook. "Who are you?" he replies. "I'm Tom, your classmate." Tom has never interacted with him before. This surprised him a bit. "What is it?" Helen says. Are you alright?" "It's none of your business," Helen concludes Tom's question. Tom types for a while before coming up with, "Listen, I know how you feel right now. You're in the same situation as I am. I really want to help, but I can't. Sorry." Afterwards, Tom and Helen just text to each other for a long time, and Helen feels much better after telling him all the pain and feeling that he has been through. He can even joke around with Tom, often using a smiley emoji to show his happiness. This is the first time he had himself thinks he's made a friend. It was warm in the weather in the afternoon. Come meet me on the roof after the first period this afternoon. We need to talk. Don't ask me why. Texted Tom last night. Following his instructions, Helen meets Tom on the roof, waving his hand and walking down towards him as he says, "Hey Tom, what's up, friend? I have something to say. Something important," says Tom with a serious look. "Remember that watch receiving incident? How could Helen forget about it? That was how he started suffering." Helen nods to show that he remembers. "I was the culprit." Tom looked down, scared to look into his eyes. "What?" Helen was shocked. "I stole Judy's watch and framed you as the culprit." "Why would you do this?" "With you is the only new targeted victim, which my life is much better," Tom smirks. It's true, however, that when somebody decides to bully Helen, they won't bother Tom anymore. He's just like the abandoned toy for him that is totally perfect. As long as he keeps silent, he will be able to live his life at school, life safe and sound. He succeeded. The plan was outstandingly perfect. Helen grabs the collar of his shirt, and after pushing around for a bit, they ended up near the edge of the roof. Tom slips and falls to the roof as Helen instantly grabs his hand. He tries to pull him back up, but Helen does not have that much strength to do so. "I'm sorry, Helen." Tom falls. Helen closes his eye, scared to look at what was going to happen. He cannot imagine what will happen come after falling from a 6-story tall building. After the policemen arrived, they have interviewed Helen as he was horrified by the incident. However, to even say a word, once again Helen becomes a topic of discussion between students. Some people think Helen has pushed Tom from the roof, but most of them others think that Tom has taken his own life and Helen failed in saving him because they saw him grabbing Tom's hand before he fell. That night, Helen was in his room crying, shivering as he cannot stop the guiltiness for him from growing inside of him. He needs to calm down, and something even though flashed in his mind. It's not my fault that Tom died. He deserves to die. This made him feel so much better, and his guiltiness fades away too. Helen creepily smiles. Tom has his punishment. I suppose it's time for the others to have theirs, isn't it? His cries turn into laughter in the dark. Helen's classmates decide to have a party on the day of Halloween, but it's not celebrate Halloween. It's just to have her friends come over to party. Of course, Helen was not invited to the party. The night before the day of Halloween, Judy and Maggie were texting each other on Facebook. Both of them live in the school dorm, and Judy's room is next to Maggie's. "Judy, who's coming to the party tomorrow? I'm excited." Maggie, "Most of our class will be there, but I texted Ben so many times, and even all the message I sent are read. He's never replies to me. What the hell's wrong with him?" Judy, "He's probably working, I guess." Maggie, "Something weird is happening. I think I might be hearing footsteps coming from my door for a long time. I think someone's walking around the dorm." Maggie, "Wait, I'll go check." Using the hole in the door, Maggie saw something unusual. Maggie, "Oh my god, there's a guy waiting outside wearing a mask, a blue jacket, and he's holding a knife. He's all bloody." Maggie, "Fuck, he's knocking on my door right now." Maggie, "Oh god, oh god, oh god!" Judy, "Just stay calm, and find a weapon or something." Judy, "Protect yourself." Maggie, "He's turning the doorknob. Good thing I locked it." Maggie, "I'm scared." Judy, Maggie, "What should I do?" Judy, "Maggie, listen." Maggie, "Save me." Judy, "Maggie, calm down." Judy, "Maggie." Judy, "Maggie." Judy, "You there?" This message is shown to be in red, but Judy does not see Maggie's response. Suddenly, Judy hears the sound of her dorm room opening, and instant she turns around. She felt a horrible pain in her stomach, and a bloody person wearing a mask and blue jacket bursts into the room and stabs her. The night of all the students who were in the dorm were murdered. No one knows what the killer did it. The murderer used victims' blood to paint the walls of the dorm, most of the paintings being on their face. Many of the corpses were getting chopped up and smashed, possibly to get more pigments. Helen, Otis, the culprit, is still missing currently. However, in the chat room where Judy and Maggie text each other, a message was written that responded to Judy's first message at 9:03, and this was something it said. 11:15. Judy, don't be excited about tomorrow because there will be no tomorrow.